I know that it's possible that when somebody is elected to Parliament, to the House of Commons, they can cross the floor and join another party. But when somebody is specifically promoted into the House of Lords, I was going to say the House of Cords, but the House of Lords, and ennobled, in this case by Boris Johnson, you would expect them to be loyal to the Conservative Party. But no, Peter Cruddas, who was a billionaire Tory donor, has been reposting a huge number of messages about Farage and calling people to support Farage and Reform. 100 posts on Twitter, X. 48 posts were supportive of Reform UK and Farage, and 12 were broadly critical of the Conservative Party. It's not what you expect from a senior member of the House of Lords who's supposed to be supporting and sitting on the Conservative benches, and who was put there by a Conservative Prime Minister. Anyone left supporting the Conservative Party isn't patriotic, said Aaron Banks, and it was dutifully forwarded. If every Reform voter can convince just one other person to switch from Lib Con to Reform, they will win a landslide. It's a matter of duty for us all. Cruddas said, well, retweets are not considered in law to be an endorsement of the content. I entirely agree. He says, I am disseminating news around upcoming elections. I'm trying to give a balanced view of what's going on. I have also retweeted a lot of support to the Conservative Party. Yes. Well, dissemination. I'm sure we can fully agree that there's a lot of dissemination going on in Cruddas's life. But he does seem to be strangely garrulous with his retweets. It's one thing to like a tweet, or to like a post, or to like a comment. It's another thing to be reposting it and promoting it, isn't it? Surely that is endorsing it. I should have thought that was endorsing. And at a time when it's becoming difficult to tell the difference between the Conservatives and Reform, maybe it's appropriate for Lords to be a little bit more careful, because one Conservative MP apparently has said if Lord Cruddas had any decency, he'd resign the whip and defect officially to Reform. He's either in or out of the Conservative Party, and his tweets suggest he's out, and Reform are welcome to him. It's a bit sad, isn't it? And, it's a bit sad that the Conservative Party is literally crumbling before our eyes. And there's no Disraeli around to rebuild it. There's really only Farage waiting in the wings to seize the scrag end of the Conservative Party, the rump of the Conservative Party, and take control of it. Michael Gove has said that Reform is a giant ego trip, not a serious programme of alternative change. Actually, I think some of the ideas floated in Farage's manifesto, I refuse to call it a contract, Farage's manifesto, I think some of them are very interesting, particularly about putting up the tax threshold to £20,000. I think that's an excellent idea, and one that should have been considered by either the Labour Party or the Conservative Party. That's an interesting one. Some of the other stuff, frankly, no.